Welcome to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining with us. All right, I have Rob West, founder and manager of VIP Insider, with me today. Rob, welcome to the show.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you, Michael.
All right, I'm glad you're here. All right, Rob, you are a pioneer in your industry. You do all kinds of amazing things. Give our audience a little background on you and what the VIP Insider does to really help people.
Well, I've traveled this industry path for 46 years, and after being a little bit in semi-retirement, I got back into open a specialty planning practice for small companies, closed corporations, and doctors in the medical profession to help them better manage their some of their financial affairs with some specialty things that I've learned over the last 46 years. And so it's been a great deal of excitement. And one of the pleasures was meeting you, Michael.
Thank you. Appreciate you saying that. Rob?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the typical company and the organizational choices that are going on. What most companies are doing to establish within their home state?
Well, it's interesting, Michael. The choices of how a company operates is typically accidental, or maybe by advice of maybe a relative, or a lot of times a CPA, perhaps. And but most people go to a statutory element to open up an LLC, a C Corp with an S election or something like that. But right from the very structure, there's things businesses may or may not know that they could do to really make advancements, with their business model. And so to us, the reason the company is named VIP Insider is because the VIPs are entrepreneurs and business owners. And the reason I am focused on that is because in the United States, that's one of the greatest freedoms we have, is to own your own business. And so I want to do as much as I can to pass along what I've learned in the last 46 years in my practice and in my experiences to help small businesses to excel in what they do and to maintain their efforts all the way through different generations if they'd like to.
What are some of the things that you do to help businesses? I know that most people don't think this, but 80% of the people that are out there really do need help. Tell us where you focus.
I have a very strong background as an estate planning paralegal. I spent some years on Wall Street. I was the vice president for two major Wall Street firms and a certified financial planner for many years. And so all of those elements that a business owner would run into, I'm informed with. Plus, I practiced with those as an entrepreneur myself. And I know what it's like to own a building and make payroll. And there's a lot of things that goes on behind an entrepreneur that their client or customer probably wouldn't know about. And so I understand those stresses, and I have built a couple of platforms to bring some of the more common things to the forefront to help them be more profitable, and also some things that are uncommon that, frankly, only the more wealthy people would know about. And
tell me about exit strategies. I want to hear about these because you do a lot of work in this part. And as I should say, the succession strategy too.
Well, it's interesting because more than 80% of the business owners don't have an exit strategy other than, I'm going to sell my business perhaps, or hope my son or daughter would take it over. But beyond steps to really organize that, if I can embellish the need for an income statement and a balance sheet and a risk management analysis, and then from there, we choose planks on my platforms, whether it be in the estate planning area or perhaps in the business management area, even to choose a different form of business that would be better to continue on with. I would have those discussions with the business owner And I'll tell you, the methods that I use, the things that I know, are just not common in the marketplace. So, um, but there's just so much. It's so much fun to see a successful businessman or woman that are advancing well, but at the end of the day, they really didn't want to spend the money to hire an attorney or a CPA to see if there's a better way to approach what they're doing because they're sensitive to their budget, and that's understandable. And so the things I can do on a no cost basis is to offer uh, where they can go. And then if we need these other professionals after they've got a good plan in mind, and I do that for no cost, then they have a good direction to go. And if we need to spend money on other professionals, um, then it's much more effective money because we've sorted out where they want to go, where they are now, and what would be the best methods to get there. And sometimes the methods to get there are not necessarily in the common practice for a CPA or an attorney. And so it's a useful exercise for them to talk with me.
All right, now you've got a term here. It's called a special trust trustee. Talk to me about that.
Well, I was fortunate to engage using business trust as a way of doing business 20 some years ago, frankly, and it's recently I became familiar with a much more polished version of operating estates and trusts with a mechanism using a business trust that's been copyrighted and well proven in terms of both taxation and in control. And so the knowledge of this specialty trust is important to have because 70 or 80% of the things that are troublesome or possibly troublesome to a business owner are going to be solved by changing the way they do business, including annual interruptions from various income taxes and so forth, and asset protection um, as well. And so it's just a very interesting way that this trust was put together, and companies themselves can be structured, or perhaps the current structure introduced into the trust, and then the business owner, the president, the CEO, would frankly be operating their business as a trustee. And so a lot of people just don't have that knowledge, and it's not taught that I know of in law schools or in accounting and advanced training and CPA work and things like that. And what I like to do, I'm working with the company just since I met with them recently, offered to write continuing education courses for CPAs and lawyers to actually get 2 or 3 hours of continuing education to get a handle on this new but old way to operate.
You focus on the medical industry. Talk to me about why you've done that and how you see what it is that you're doing in whether it's the trust or business advisory that really is going to change their lives for the better.
Good question, Michael. And it was somewhat accidental that I had some health history that was difficult to deal with. And so while I was in the hospital, I thought it would probably be interesting maybe to start a business while I had a captive audience there, you know. And but various things, it led me into two things. One was the aspects of asset protection and the advancement of a personal business, a private practice of a doctor is so much more enhanced by looking at this business structure as this specialized spendthrift trust. I have them operate as a trustee for them personally. And then also it got me into another area where I have a partner, Steve Gillette, and we have started DNA testing company because of adverse drug reactions, which is the fourth leading cause of death in the United States, and it's highly preventable, and Medicare pays for these tests to be done, so you won't have these adverse drug problems. And so and it's also a method that the doctors and hospitals can manage their liability. So it, I got 3 or 4 business things that I operate with, but I really like the estate planning, the business planning, as well as the fascinating effects of working with DNA and some super people in these laboratories, and some of the work they're bringing to the marketplace is just impressive, very impressive.
Is the special purpose fund that you have different, and where does that drive? Where does that focus?
This is such a cool thing. I've used it in the past, and it's been enhanced since because it's a combination of insurance law and tax law that is put together, and I'll show owners how they could advance the growth of a fund on a tax-deferred basis and use that fund on a tax-free basis, as well as having very needed insurance benefits, including insurance benefits for to use of their company for buy-sell agreements and so forth, as well as personal insurance in terms of life insurance and an accident and sickness insurance, which surprisingly can bankrupt a lot of people. It does, just by having the medical problems, even if you have insurance. So, but the special purpose fund platform is designed to share all of that information, and it's simply a matter of being able to rent the capital on a tax deductible basis, and the use of that capital over a period of time is what creates your wealth and provide your coverage. So if business owners are paying after-tax dollars on life insurance premium, that will go away, as well as many other things too. So,
Got it. All right, Rob, thanks for so much for being a guest on today's show. Look forward to our next interview.
thank you, Michael.
You're welcome. All right, you've been watching CEO Money with Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining with us. Follow us on Facebook, like us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.